So this is probably the worst hour to speak, right? So the last day, midday. I don't know if all of you had lunch, but I had to eat really fast with my friends here. So it's probably the worst hour, but someone has to fill the spot, right? So thank you everyone for joining me today. I will be covering a session about 0 days, 0 clicks, like a mysterious campaign against mobile. That is probably one of the, let's say, most hidden threats nowadays. Everyone knows about Trojans, everyone knows about ransomware, but probably the mobile landscape is one of the things that people is not telling what's going on because it has a lot of interest by nation states attacks that are trying to hack those devices and extract information from them. So the presentation is titled Cyber Intrusions, the Rise of Targeted Attacks on Mobile Platforms. This is because we collected statistics from last year, and we saw an increase of 300% more compared to 2023, sorry. So this, we are in a good moment, let's say, in the industry to capture these malware threats that are targeting this ecosystem. So first of all, I want to tell you about one campaign that we publish on SecureList. I don't know if you are a subscriber of the webpage, but if not, I encourage everyone to follow it because we are time to time publishing what we are discovering. And one of the latest things that we publish is about the Operation Forum Troll, and we discover 0-day targeting Google Chrome. I don't know in which part of the industry you are, and if you are, for example, in the exploit development field, but discover a 0-day to target browsers is not easy. It's not easy. So every time that a 0-day appears, everyone has to run to patch because it means that everyone will be affected. Days after our publication, the people from Mozilla that is in charge of Firefox also shared the, let's say, similar 0-day for Firefox because, as you probably imagine, Chrome and Firefox are sharing the same engine in the end. So you are probably affected by, if you're affected by a 0-day in Chrome, probably if you're a user of Firefox, you will be affected also. So how the attackers exploited this campaign? Only with a link, with a one-click exploitation. So the users, the victim, they got an email, and they click on the link, and then the 0-day exploit on their machines, and then the attackers had like a privilege escalation on their machines, and they managed to install a malware and implant on their systems. And this is only with the action of click on a link that someone gets in an email. We got the CVE attribution for us, for my colleague Boris Larin and Igor Kundetsov. And we are still researching what's going on behind this operation because, as you can imagine, the attackers behind it are still out there trying to make more danger, let's say. First of all, I want to highlight to you guys why we are the leaders in the industry when we talk about cyber threats investigation. What I did is to start in 2010 when the Great Team started. The Great Team is the team that is in charge of all the investigations, the public team that is in charge of do all the investigation at Kaspersky, and probably some of the names are known to you, right? I mean, who knows the Stuxnet? Hands up. I mean, everyone knows the Stuxnet, right? The first malware that managed to bypass the digital world into the physical world because if they succeed, probably the nuclear plant will explode, right? So this is the first threat that, I mean, most of the cybersecurity companies born after what happened in this threat. So who believe was United States behind Stuxnet? Who believes was Iran? We will never know, right? So Stuxnet was, again, Stuxnet had like 4 0 days on the operation that is like a Hollywood movie, right? I mean, it's quite impossible to have this in an operation. Then we had Duku, that is practically the same. So Starknet was designed for cyber sabotage, and Duku is designed for cyber espionage, but it's practically the same. Then we have other campaigns like 2014, we had Careto. Careto is the first APT that is the first, let's say, a Spanish APT. You will draw your own conclusions. Then we have Equation. Equation is the first APT where the bad guys managed to infect the firmware of the hard drive. So it's possible for a security solution to discover which is the threat that is inside the hard drive, because the AV can access to the firmware. So it's the first APT group that managed to conduct an operation like this. Then we have Carbonac. Carbonac is the first APT that was focused on the banks. And imagine a guy in an ATM and another guy in another part of the wall. They click on a button, and then the guy in front of the ATM, he, boom, starts to get money. It's like the dream of everyone, right? I mean, like a free money for everybody. And they managed to do this globally. Carbonac, amazing. If you can search about the operation, we have a video for a CCTV recording when we saw the guy with the hoodie on the ATM, like extracting the money from the bank. Super nice. For the bad guy, not for the bank, of course. Okay, but it's interesting, right? Another operations, you see every year we are like spotting different operations, and as you can see, I want you guys to see like 2 names here. One of them is triangulation. We will discuss about it. It's probably the most cyber advanced operation for the last 50 years for sure. And then we had another time in 2024, we have Careto again. So 10 years, no one in the industry managed to detect them. And 10 years 10 years later, sorry, we managed to detect them again, targeting a government institution in Latin America. So there are some groups that are specialized to be under the radar, and Careto is one of them. And in 2025, I put here Operation Forum Troll, but we are in May, so who knows what will happen this year. So what we are talking about? We are talking about something really interesting. The statistics show that so only for banking Trojans, the bad guys managed to have the triple statistics for 2024, and this means a lot because, as you can imagine, who has iOS here? iOS? Android? Windows Phone? No one has Windows Phone, right? And who believe iOS is more secure? Android is more secure? Let's see. So the statistics shows that only for banking Trojans, like close to 200% increasement, and for the other threats, at like max number, 300%, okay? So, and this means a lot of malware dedicated to the mobile landscape. So which are the notorious cases? Because as society, we had a lot of notorious cases about infection on the mobile ecosystem, and I don't know if you know about this operation. Who knows about this? Catalan Gate, right? So, who are the victims? Oh, you probably know some of them, right? These are politicians, right? Politicians that are operating in Catalonia. So here in Barcelona, in Catalonia, and all of them were victims of national state operations, an infection with Pegasus, that is the Trojan made by NSO Group. So NSO Group is an Israeli company that are creating this software. If you see the web page, they say that they are working with law enforcement, but I don't know. Every time that we detect a Pegasus infections, it's not a terrorist, it's a politician or a journalist or something like that. So I mean, I'm sure they work for law enforcement, but I never capture a victim like that, right? So, and these are some of the victims against what is called the Catalan Gate, that was Catalonian politicians infected by Pegasus. So how many more of them exist? So there is a research group that is called Citizen Labs. It's a research group in Toronto that are, let's say, famous to capture and discover all of the infections made by NSO group. So, for example, the Catalan Gate was discovered by them. So they contacted the Catalonian government saying, hey, we have telemetry, we have data that you are infected by Pegasus, please contact us. And they are in contact with the private companies, but also security researchers about the investigations that they do. And if you are interested on these cyber-espionage campaigns, please follow Citizen Lab, because they are publishing all the time, I don't know, infections against Tibetan whatever, and they are behind the research. Investigation about city or country, whatever, the Pegasus was there, or a targeted operation, APT operation. They are really good on the mobile ecosystem. So I'm happy that they are there, because sometimes they shed some light about this kind of operations, because at the end of the day, to be able to capture one of those threats, you have to have the malware, you have to have the victim, and you have to be able to do a forensics analysis on the phone to be able to capture the implant. So for the audience, so what is a zero click? What is a zero click? So probably you guys know about the word of 0 day. 0 day is an unpatched vulnerability that is not known by the vendor. And a zero click means that we are now in this room, someone sends you a message to your phone, you don't see a notification, you don't do any click, but you are infected. This is a zero click. So no notification, no anything, and you are infected. So maybe right now someone is targeting us. So, and this is quite hard to defend. There is no technology that can stop that. No any vendor. No Kaspersky, no any vendor can do that, can protect you about a zero click. Of course, this is, I mean, to be able to have a zero click, it means that you have a couple of millions to invest in a really large team to be able to exploit something like this, because if we compare an exploit that is launched against a software, there's something that is called remote command execution. You launch the exploit, and then you get privilege escalation, and you have administrator access. For the mobile ecosystem, you have to be able to concatenate multiple exploits in order to have root access to the phone. So it's not as easy to launch an exploit and then smile and have fun. So for the question that I was doing before, which OS is more secure, iOS or Android? Let's take a look about the statistics. So what we see here, when we talk about security, it's a broad word, and security means a lot of things. So if we take the speech from the angle about a security analyst, they will probably say that Android is more secure because allows them to do a full forensics on the phone in case an incident happens. So for the people that has iOS, who has an antivirus installing there? Who has antivirus on the phone? And for the people that has Android, who has antivirus on the phone? So for the people that has iOS, bad luck, guys, there is no AV running on iOS, okay? Not even Kaspersky. We have a product, but it's more to protect the browser, I mean, what you do on internet with the different pages that you visit, but it's not possible to do full response, full protection over your phone, because iOS, Apple doesn't allow anyone to protect you and to modify the system, because it's a secure box that you cannot access it without jailbreaking. So if you have an incident on iOS, good luck to recover any trace or whatever, because you won't be able to do anything. You have to play with the tools you have, and you have like some logs, some traces file that you can capture on the phone, but you are not able to do any full, proper forensic analysis on an iOS device. And when we talk about protection, it's probably the same. So on Android, you have full capabilities to run an anti-malware, and for iOS, you have some limitations. And this is important to all of you to know about it, and then decide what you want to do. I'm not saying that you don't have to use iOS anymore, of course not, but in case something happens, see which are the capabilities that someone, a third party, will have on your phone if they need to investigate what happened in your device, okay? In iOS, limited visibility. In Android, you can perform a full forensic analysis. So in terms of security, both ecosystems are practically the same, but iOS has some limitations when we talk about dual investigation later when the incident happened. So let's talk about what we call special operations, because, okay, banking malware is dangerous for the users because they steal the money from your bank account. Spyware is like crazy because they steal your photos from your phone or your conversations or blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's super important, and we are against that. We are also founding members of the Stalkerware coalition. Stalkerware is a malware that people is using to spy on your partner, and we are against this kind of threat. They are not malware, but they are like tools that someone is used on a bad purpose, and we are founding members of a coalition that is detecting this kind of apps. So when we are talking about special operations, we have to understand what have them in common. And they have the use of 0 days, they are targeted espionage, and they are white-collar operations. So the idea from these attackers is to target your mobile device, to extract all of the information, WhatsApp database, Telegram database, photos, geolocation, recordings, anything that you have in your phone, capture all of this data, like run away, and then if you didn't figure out, that's amazing. They can come back again and again and again and repeat the operation as many times as they need. So let's take a look about the exploits that targeted both systems. So I wanted to take a look on 2024 and 2023. I'm sure you guys can't imagine that all of these exploits were available, okay? Because sometimes the vendors are not like publishing too much about these 0 days, but every time your iOS device or your Android device says, hey, update me, guys, read the changelog. Because if the word security is there, it means that an exploit is like being exploited in the wild, and you have to update as soon as possible. So every time before I go to sleep, I'm doing this on the update, like slice down and see if I have an update, and the same in the morning. And for the iOS devices, reboot the device once a week, okay? This is the best way to avoid to have an implant, because the malware in iOS, when you reboot the phone, disappears because it's on the memory. For the Android device, bad luck, the malware will be there. But for iOS, it will be only memory, so if you reboot the device, you will be protected until the next exploitation. So as you can see, we have here different kinds of exploitations. So a remote command execution in Safari. We have previous escalation actively exploited in apps. We have like this interesting, the Predator Intelexa chain. Intelexa is a company like Pegasus, like NSO Group, that they managed to do an exploitation where they install a certificate on the kernel, exploiting a vulnerability in the WebKit. They install a certificate because if you want to do a man in the middle, you have to be able to see the traffic, so you have to install your own certificate authority. And these are some of the exploits that appeared in 2024 and 2023. So, who knows about Pegasus? Who reads about it? Okay, guys, this is a toy. compared to what is out there. Pegasus is old shit. Okay? There are other threats, major threats out there, most advanced compared to Pegasus. Okay? But, of course, they try to be hidden, to not be detected, okay, by the industry. So who knows about these guys? Hands up. If someone hands up right now, I will run away because you are part of an intelligence agency. So Epeus is a company that is based on Italy, as far as it seems. And they are a company like NSO Group. And Google, the cybersecurity team of Google, they published a report 5 years ago, about digital surveillance against mobile platforms. And they published it about these guys, okay? Me and my team, we started to look on the telemetry. The Google team, they don't share any indicator of compromise, so no hash, no domain, no IP, no anything. So we had to be really creative, creating a rule in our telemetry to seek for these guys. And 4 years later, we found a file in the telemetry. And we started to investigate, and we managed to see that it was a malware for Android. So, and we managed to see that it was a really sophisticated threat because it made a lot of things on the phones, like extract really interesting data from the user. They managed to activate the microphone without the user knowledge. They were able to extract also WhatsApp database. They managed also to geolocate the user, and they were sending the data to a remote C2 server and doing open source intelligence over the infrastructure. We managed to finger point the infrastructure for the related to the Epeus company. So, sorry, the company is Cyphergate. It's the name that is on the left. And this company is also like a company that is working with law enforcement, but all of the victimology that they found is not like it doesn't seem to be like a terrorist guys. So it's another NSO group. So this is quite interesting. I don't know if you hear about Triangulation. That is the campaign that we published 2 years ago. Triangulation, we estimate that the cost of this operation was like probably close to $1 billion of investment to create this operation. All of these operations, it's one target, and then the operation is born because the industry is like extracting patches and defenses against this. So it's like $1 billion investment to do one hit. So people have a lot of money. So this is the architecture of the exploitation. I wanted to highlight it because that the attack starts with an iMessage. So for the people that is using iOS, disable iMessage if you are not using it. Forget about the emoji shit. No one cares about it. And disable iMessage. And then we have a PDF file. When the iMessage gets the file, iPhone is doing a rendering on the file. And this is at this time when the exploitation succeeds. And then we have like multiple jumps. We have the first exploit, that is a kernel exploit. It's quite similar to the one that is available for PS5. That you know that the PS5 was hacked. So it's totally a similar exploit. Then we have a Safari. We have a validator. This is quite interesting because the implant had all of the jailbreak techniques known at that time. So they were able to manage to know if the iPhone was a real iPhone or an iPhone that was jailbreaked. And also, another interesting technique is to make sure that they know exactly the iPhone version that the victim had. They draw on the screen a triangle, and they did pixel hashing to calculate the amount of the triangle on the screen, and they were able to say, okay, this screen size, it belongs to iPhone 14, for example. Because you know that every year the iPhone is more big, right? It's the best iPhone, more screen, more capabilities, better processor, better CPU. So they will able to detect the iPhone version that will a triangle and do pixel hashing over the screen. Then we had another exploit for Safari, another exploit for the kernel, and then another validator before launch the final implant. So all of this to check if they can draw the final implant. So what the implant made on the victims, they were able to detect, you know that these important meetings where the people say, put the airplane mode in the phone to not have connectivity. The malware was able to detect that time of when the people say airplane mode, and they activate the microphone silently, so you don't see the light on the screen. The phone starts to record all the audio of the room, and then when the user enables again the connectivity on the phone, the malware sent the audio recording to the command and control server. They were able also to geolocate the user with the Wi-Fi neighbor, so you know that iPhone is all the time beaconing and asking about which network can I be connected. So you are, for example, here in Barcelona in La Maquinista, and you see Starbucks La Maquinista, so it means that you are there, right? So they were able to detect where the users running exactly, because maybe, depending on the location, they are interested in being more aggressive, like getting that data from the victim. They were also able to extract any photo, any database from messengers like WhatsApp or Telegram. They were also able to delete files on the phone, so the implant was able to delete all the iMessage that the phone got to do the exploitation. So when you do a forensic, you cannot extract the message on the phone and then get the implant to do the analysis. And they were able to delete all the traces to be stealth on the operation. So triangulation was really, really crazy. We had to be really, really creative to get all the implants, because when you detect an operation like this, you don't know in which part of the attack kill chain you are, right? So you are in the last stage where the implant is executed and the data is being sent to the remote command control server. You are at the beginning where the exploitation is starting and then the phones are infected, or you are in the middle of the operation. You don't know about that because you don't have full visibility. So you have to be doing your investigation, your analytics on the campaign to be able to know in which part of the operation I am, if I have all the data that belongs to the campaign, and if it's the time to enable the defenses and put the bad guys out of your organization. So if you want to play with these things, we published 2 tools in GitHub. One is Triangle Check. It's on the Kaspersky Lab GitHub. It's a Python script that will be able to detect if your backup contains malware. If you have a positive, contact me. We will laugh about it and extract cool data. And then we have another script that is called iShutdown, that is a, let's say, more broader tool to detect the presence of malware inside your phone. So for the people that does intelligence like me, we have like a sentence that say, if you know your data and your adversary, you can prevent the attack before it happens. It's something that all the threat intelligence analysts will say about how to detect cyber threats. If we talk about threat intelligence, I recommend everyone to read the book from Sun Tzu, the Art of the War, right? And there is a famous sentence that says, espionage is the art of knowing what others do not want you to know. And there is a unique thing that we can do against these cyber threats operations, and it's intelligence, okay? And it's intelligence. We have to know the data. We can advance what the attackers will do. If we know the TTPs, we can draw or plan some defenses against this. They will bypass your firewall. They will bypass your endpoint. They will bypass anything that you have in place. And the only thing that you can do is intelligence, okay, to try to detect what they will do. And there are several platforms out there. We have our own platform to do threat intelligence. If you want to know more about it, let me know. And I'm like 10 seconds left, so thank you, everyone.